When I was a child, I wanted to be an entomologist, and I thought until I was about 11 years old that I was going to be an entomologist and go and collect insects in the Amazon and be a part of some sort of research team. Well, that never happened, and I became an artist instead. But I've always had this amazing interest in butterflies and moths and creepy crawlies in general. And I've always looked for some way to kind of link the two things together. And when I went to see the Heritage Centre collection, it happened that Lawrence Bostock showed me some drawers that had some butterflies and moths in them. And I sort of thought, wow, I can do something here. I didn't know what it was I was going to do. But I started thinking about this idea of collections within collections. So the Heritage Centre is in itself a collection, but within that there are collections that have been made by other people. I was then interested in the idea that perhaps I could link the collectors of the 19th and early 20th century with the way people collect things today, the way people collect insects today. And also using the records and archives, see if I could find some writings from that period, Victorian, early 20th century, that I could use as well as the actual insects or artifacts themselves. And I thought by working with the scientific curator at the museum, he could show me what there were and what was interesting, and maybe we could find a little bit about how these collectors worked. There's a lot of endangered species in terms of small insects at the moment, and this is very topical. I was hoping that by highlighting the beauty of these creatures in some way or another, that I could bring the public's attention in a creative way to their value, and to maybe even have some information, say the information about how many meadow browns there might have been in 1911 and how many meadow browns in a field outside Taunton there were in 2015. And so to make some kind of sociological link, and to also look at, now that we no longer collect insects by putting them in killing jars and killing them off and sticking pins through them, or I'm sure some people still have the right to do that, but in general that's considered a very bad thing to do, how entomologists sort of within the region, and I know there are some, because there's a very strong butterfly and moth group that's part of Somerset Wildlife Trust, how they record their insect finds and how they do it. I don't know what kind of work I'm going to make. I am a painter and a printmaker. And I have those two disciplines in a sense at my fingertips. Now, whether I will do painting or printmaking, or somehow use my print to go into maybe a more three-dimensional thing, I have this idea of lots of laser printed butterflies flying across the gallery somehow. I don't know. When I start working with the curators and get their point of view, hopefully it will be revealed and I can make something that is not only magical but informative, and that's my aim, is really to try to do both.